Judge's Corner is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com and GatheringMagic.com. Support our show by visiting both websites. Now it's time for Judge's Corner with David Green.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Judge's Corner. Today we're going to be talking about contraptions, which were first introduced in Future Sight. They're basically little things that you make whenever you take an artifact and attach it to another permanent, and they create a whole new artifact entity. Today we're going to talk about the different ways you can make them, the different ways you can break them, and the rules surrounding them. So far, only riggers can make contraptions, and they do so typically through triggered abilities that trigger off of them entering the battlefield. You assemble a contraption by attaching a non-land artifact to another non-land permanent that currently isn't part of a contraption. If the attached artifact is an artifact creature, it loses its creature type, subtype, power, and toughness, but it remains an artifact and retains any abilities like Burnished Hearth's activated ability. The permanent you attach it to becomes an artifact in addition to its other types, making it become one giant machine or contraption. When either permanent of a contraption would be destroyed, you may destroy the other card that's part of the contraption instead. So, if you assemble a contraption with a Darksteel relic on a Goblin Lackey, then, when your opponent tried to terminate the Goblin, you could choose to destroy the relic instead, because it's part of the contraption. But, since the relic is indestructible, you'll find that this contraption is much harder to disassemble than most. However, effects that exile part of the contraption, like Path to Exile, or effects that drop the Goblin's toughness to 0 or below it, would also kill it, as it's not being destroyed, but rather put into the graveyard by a state-based action. It's important to note that returning part of the contraption to its owner's hand will also disassemble it. If you were to assemble a contraption using a creature artifact as your artifact and the contraption were disassembled, then the creature artifact would become unattached and return to being a creature on the battlefield. It would not re-enter the battlefield, so effects like Pandemonium or Soul Warden won't trigger. If you were to attach a creature artifact as your artifact part to another creature, then effects on that creature will continue to apply to that part, such as with Wormcoil Engine's triggered ability. But effects like Lifelink or Death Touch will not work, since they only apply to the Wormcoil Engine and not the creature attached with it. And finally, Steamflogger Boss not only gives riggers a bonus, but it also gives you a bonus as well, because it allows you to assemble 2 contraptions if you could when you would assemble 1. If you can't assemble more than 1 contraption, then you only assemble 1. Well, that's it for our episode today. If you have any other questions or questions about today's episode, make sure to send us an email at judgescorner@gatheringmagic.com. And if you like the content you saw here or anything else on Gathering Magic, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, remember to stack your damage wisely, put your legendary creatures out first, and April Fools.